Hello again, welcome back to the MasterCAM course in that lecture. And actually, as you remember that we created our Scallop toolpath. And according to my Scallop toolpath, actually, we need to finish all that spaces here. So maybe that's why it will be better for us to change our radius. So, and let me consider and that fillet. Actually, we can also consider and this one is the same. So I'm gonna create some curve. Let me create curve on edge options. After that, I can turn to the wireframe, and then we can turn to the single selection and then select this curve, and then we can consider that this is the actually 3 millimeter diameter, and then we're gonna see that this is the 1.5 millimeter and the radius. So to be able to and handle that stuff, maybe we should turn to the our and process, and then maybe we should left 0.1 millimeter for and finishing process actually. So after that, we can easily calculate our toolpath by using the 0.1 millimeter and stock to leave on dry face options, and then it's calculated right now. As you can see here, calculation time is quite important. Okay, it's done. Actually, this is the last part. Sorry. Yeah, it is calculated right now. You're gonna see the our solution here by using the same tool, and then we're gonna get that kind of and actually solution. Yeah, it's also possible to and create that toolpath by using the zero stock actually. After that, we can also create and some toolpath for this area. So by using the and maybe 3 millimeter and tool, it's also possible. So it is calculated as a zero, and after that, actually, it's quite important to get and actually when we turn to the level section, actually, we can activate the scallop and boundary, and then we can turn to the top view. You're gonna see that all that radius is here. So let me calculate my radius here. To be able to calculate my radius, we can easily use the curve on the edge options, and we can, oops, sorry about that noise, and we can turn to here and wireframe, and then we can select that edge and analyze it. And then we're gonna see that this is the 3 millimeter diameter is enough, I think. So we can turn to here, and then we can easily create our boundary. So let me turn to here and wireframe curve on a edge boundary, and then we can start from here. To be able to handle this one, actually, we can turn to the 2D options, and then we can easily create curve on a edge options for this one, and this one. So we can easily create this one, and after that, we can easily close the and this area and this area as well. Okay, I just gonna focus on the main face. Yeah, it's created, and this one and this one, and let me create this one, and this one. So yeah, that's okay. And then I can turn to the wireframe and line and create line options. Oops. We can start from here to here. We can also focus on this area. You know that in the finishing process and to split our model, and according to geometry is quite important. As you can see here, for example, we can create and scallop toolpath by using the 3mm diameter for all my face actually, but that is also can be time consuming because of the that if you use the 3mm and diameter, we need to use less and step over. And when we consider the 8mm tool, so 8mm tools is using the 8mm or 10mm tools is better than to use 3mm. So if it is possible, most of the time we prefer to use actually 3mm and 3mm, and that is better than to use actually 3mm. So after that, and let me save my and file here, and then actually we can copy my toolpath and paste it here. Yeah, oops, sorry about noise. And then we're gonna see the all my face here, and it's selected here, and then we can cancel the actually our and the boundary, and then we're gonna see the our new boundary. Of course, we also need to handle, and that's kind of and progress here to here, and then that's fine. I can click here, and then we can select our boundary. So this is my boundary, and then hit the OK button, and OK here. Yeah, and then we can turn to the parameters. This is the copy toolpath. We can turn to here, and then we can create and end mill here, and then it can be 3mm actually, and this is my feed rate, and this is my actually, yeah, cutting speed can be like this, and then we can turn to here, and we can easily and check out all the parameters here, and then we can hit the OK button. And then my toolpath is gonna calculate it automatically. And it is calculated right now. You're gonna see all my toolpath here. This is the calculated by using the 3mm tool actually, and everything seems fine right now, so that's okay. But we also need to consider and this area. So let me focus on this area. We are working on the 2D and the same, and then the distance, and then we can turn to here, and we can easily create our boundary like this one. Okay, so I can copy that toolpath and paste it here. So we just need to cancel my boundary, and we can add new one. Actually, that's also quite important. We're gonna select all that face. Actually, that's not necessary. We can also focus on here and select only this this face. It's also and important to change the color of this face. If you change and color of this face, that's also gonna help us and to select my cutting area. Okay, this one and this one and this one selected, as you can see here. And after that, we can turn to here, and then we can change the color of this area. So when we turn to our parameters, oops, sorry. When we turn to when we turn to our geometry, and when we focus on the drive surface, we can easily turn to here. You're gonna see that, and we can easily select our geometry by color. So I'm gonna focus on the select all entities options, and then we can select this color and then hit the OK button. And then we can use the end selection, and you can see the yellow faces and select it automatically, and then just hit that button. And after that, we can turn to here, and then maybe we should create 1 millimeter, and the ball nose here, it can be like this. Okay, and then we can write our feed rate, and we can write our cutting speed, like this one, and feed rate, and then we can calculate our toolpath. So our toolpath, as you can see here, calculated easily, and then our, you know that our our surface is quite good. And then maybe we should also, let me focus on my radius here. You know that I think 1 millimeter tool radius, oops, sorry, I need to turn back to 3D and curve on our edge options, and then we can turn to the wireframe, and we can turn to the, oops, that's curve analyze, and yeah, 1 millimeter and 0.5 millimeter radius is enough. So actually, and when we consider all that faces, we can also turn to the 3D. So that face, it's not need to be created like this actually. When we consider this toolpath, you know that area is finished right now. So that's why I'm thinking about this stuff here. I can turn to the wireframe, curve on the edge options, and then maybe we should create, let me delete this one. We should create that kind of curve here. So it's a boundary. We need to add this chain as well. So when we add this chain, actually my toolpath can be optimized automatically. So you can easily consider this one. So it's also possible to check surface. This face can be checked surface. So that's also going to help us to handle that stuff. So check surface means that we don't want to touch that face here. But yeah, sorry about that. That's not so good for us. I'm going to cancel it, and then I'm going to add that face again. Okay, so thank you. And this is actually calculated. As you can see here, we're gonna see maybe there's some problems here. Yeah, this is the retract motion. Maybe we should turn to the Scallop parameters here. Maybe we should make them our tolerance like this. And when we turn to the gap settings, that can be optimized and follow surface options, or we can also use the break options for this one. You know that to be able to create that kind of toolpath, actually we're gonna see our transaction position here, and then we also need to change our step over. You know that when you split your product, for example, according to this area, and this area, so that's also gonna help you to change different step over and different cutting strategies and different feed rate and different tool as well. So that's why, and that kind of approach is quite important. So after that, actually, we're gonna get two kind of and the toolpath here for this special and area. And after that, you know that when we consider to this one, actually, yeah, for this one, and we get and the 0 and faces here, and then we can calculate all that faces. And maybe we should also, I'm thinking about that stuff here, maybe we should also consider this boundary and can be selected as a uncut area. So that's why I'm gonna turn to mirror options, and then I'm gonna hit the chain and then select this chain, and then actually I'm gonna and mirror options for this chain, this geometry, and then I'm gonna check that everything seems fine. Yeah, this is exactly the case we want. And then when we consider this area as a boundary, this boundary, and then we can also add this boundary and this boundary, and to create and my cutting area. After that, we can easily calculate my toolpath. You know that, and we're gonna create our toolpath, and by considering our manufacturing process step by step, and after that maybe we can change our progress. You can also turn to your CNC machine by creating that kind of product. Actually, you can also see, and you can also add the different point. Yes, it is calculated right now like this. Yeah, that's cool. And then after that process, you're gonna see that kind of scallop here, and that's kind of scallop here. And after that, of course, we also need to create some mirror toolpath. I'm gonna use here, and then we can also use the transform toolpath, and then I just need to select this one and this one, and the toolpath is selected, and then we're gonna use the mirror options. We're gonna use that kind of mirror options here. According to this perspective, we just need to hit the OK button, and then that toolpath is copied and according to y-axis, and then we're gonna get some toolpath for this area. Yes, it is calculated right now. So when we consider here, we're gonna get that kind of toolpath for this area. So we don't need to create new toolpath. So we can easily use the transform toolpath options. So that's it. And end of this section, we're gonna create some scallop toolpath for this area, and this area. And then it's a final position. We're gonna get all kind of stuff can be handled. After that, maybe after this process, maybe we can focus on this area and we can easily get a final solution for all this area. Okay.